A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English.
Hi everyone, welcome back to A+ English. I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
And we're talking about being a visual merchandiser. Now, being a visual merchandiser, if you want to do this job, you need a good sense of fashion. And that's our warm-up question. Do you think about fashion a lot? What do you think of it?
I don't think I think about fashion a lot, but sometimes I do think about it. So I will go to different online stores to check what's new.
Okay.
And maybe I can buy some new clothes.
Cool. No, I almost never think about fashion. What do I think of it? Mostly going, what are people wearing these days? You know, but when you're a 40-year-old father, fashion has gone.
Right, and you don't need to think about fashion.
I might need to think about my children's fashion in a few years' time, but you know, for me, that's passed me by. That's a page in the past of a book now. But let's find out more about different kinds of fashion by talking once again to our visual merchandiser in day 2 of the article.
Working as a visual merchandiser. Warm-up question. Do you think about fashion a lot? What do you think of it?
What's a normal working day like?
I spend the morning in the office doing research. In the afternoon, I go to stores and check their displays.
What is the most interesting part of your job?
For me, it's learning the beginnings of each season's fashions. For example, maybe people in fashion decided this season's color 2 years ago.
Do you like your job? Why or why not?
I do. My designs can be different every season. I use many styles and trends, so it's always fresh.
What do visual merchandisers use a lot but customers might not notice?
The pyramid technique. We use it to give items a nice, comfortable look.
So we're back with our interview, A+, talking to Mr. B, and we're still talking about his job. A+ asks, what's a normal working day like?
Normal 这个形容词是平常的、正常的、一般的。
Yeah, just like every day, nothing special, your pretty normal, average, typical day. Like on a normal day, I start work around 8 a.m.
Or I can say on a normal day, I work until 9 p.m. 再来呢，我们看到 like 这个字，这边是介系词哦，是个 preposition， 解释为像。像是我们可以说 Does your son look like you?
He's got a big giant head like me, so yeah, there's that.
刚的问句，你的儿子像你吗？Look like 看起来像。
Yeah, what is this book like? Meaning, is it good? What is the restaurant like? And how's the food? What's it like there? Is it expensive? You know, what's going on with it? Mr. B says, I spend the morning in the office doing research.
OK， 这边呢我们看到 spend 这个动词怎么用呢 ？Let's find out。Spend 这个动词呢，在这边解释为花时间或是度过。那它的三态要注意哦，原形字尾是 d， 过去是跟过去分词，字尾必须要改成 t 才可以。那某人 spent time doing something， 代表某人花时间做某事，记得后面的动作必须要变成 v-i-n-g。像是我们要说 I spent 3 hours figuring out how to use this high-tech vacuum. 我花了3个小时才搞清楚要怎么样使用这高科技的吸尘器。那如果是某人花钱，也可以用 spend 这个动词。 Somebody spends money on something. 某人花钱在某事物上，像是呢 One of my friends spent $50,000 NT on a tiny purse. 我的一个朋友花了台币5万块在一个小包包上面。那注意哦，你要用 spend 的时候，主词都是人才可以。那单字例句说啊 We went on vacation to Japan last month. We spent 4 days in Tokyo. 我们上个月去日本度假，在东京待了4天。
And I can say, I spend a lot of time playing with my son. But what does Mr. B spend time doing?
我们看到 Mr. B 后面说他是花时间 doing research. Do research 是做研究。
Right, you're finding out about things. It could be finding out new things, checking what everybody else is doing. You're just learning facts. At university, I did research on how little germs can live in very hot and very cold places.
所以 do research on something 那就是做对某事的研究。
So that's his morning. So maybe he's online, maybe checking websites or reading fashion magazines. We then see in the afternoon, I go to stores and check their displays.
下午呢，我会去店里面看他们的陈列。
So that could be going to other shops owned by other companies. We said yesterday he checks out what they're doing. Maybe he goes to other stores owned by his company and gets their ideas and so on. So we're not quite sure, but he probably does both. A+ then asks, what is the most interesting part of your job?
那你工作哪个部分最有趣呢？
Okay, and Mr. B says, for me, it's learning the beginnings of each season's fashions.
beginning 这个名词，它跟 begin 这个动词当然有关系。我们来看一下该怎么样使用。Beginning 这个名词呢，代表的是事件或过程的开端。那前面你会看到这个动词 begin begin 代表的就是开始。那我们有开端 beginning， 我们还有 middle 中间，还有结尾 end。所以当你听到的是 from beginning to end， 那就是从开始到结束。那有时候呢，我们会在句首看到这3个字 in the beginning。一开始的时候 So for example, in the beginning, she didn't know what was going on. 一开始她不知道发生什么事。那如果是某事或是某物的开端或起始，那我们要用到的是 at the beginning of something. 像是呢 at the beginning of the class, the teacher gave the students a quiz. 课堂一开始，老师给学生小考。单字例句给的是呢 This was a perfect trip. It went so well from beginning to end. 这是一趟完美的旅行，从头到尾都很顺利。
We could say at the beginning of the book, the main character lives quietly in his peaceful home.
OK， 回到课文呢 ，Mr. B 刚说啊，知道美季一开始流行的是什么，是最令我觉得有趣的事。He finds that super interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, this idea of, all right, so how do we get fashion? Does somebody decide it? Do a group decide it? Do the whole world just kind of feels like, yeah, I feel like blue this year, so that's what's going to be worn? Well, it is a little bit like that. We find in the article, he says, for example, maybe people in fashion decided this season's color 2 years ago.
2 years ago they decided that.
Like, all right, 2023,
Really?
we're going to go with this kind of nice cream brown kind of color.
Okay, that is fast. 好，这边的 for example 通常放在句首带出举例的内容。另外像是 like, such as 也可以用来举例，不过怎么用呢？我们进 Magic Box 听讲师讲解咯。
哎呦，那个肺炎的疫情这么严重，我看新闻好像很多名人都被传染到了呢，像是那个NBA 的啊，还有那个演电影的大家真的要做好防疫工作啦，像是多洗手啊，减少去人多的地方啊等等哎呦，在家里跟花妈一起学英文最好啦。 像我们刚刚在说哪些名人被传染啦，还是呢在说防疫有哪些事情要做，这个时候呢我们就会用到举例的用法有一些做法呢可以避免被传染。举例来说，你可以多洗手，你可以少去公共场所等等这些举例来说呢，在英文里面呢也有一系列的用法，而且呢在写文章的时候特别好用我们呢马上来看一下吧。举例来说呢，常见的用法我们可以分成2种了。第一种呢，通常我们后面只会接一个例子，那就是呢 for example 或是呢 for instance。怎么用嘞？比方说我们在讨论呢学校里面有没有运动表现得特别好的同学啊。We have many students that are good at sports. Tom, for example, is a very good tennis player.我们学校里面呢有很多运动表现很好的学生例如 Tom 就是一位很棒的网球选手。For example 呢就会跟前面讨论的句子分开它会独立成一句，可以呢插在这个句子的中间，也可以用在开头。比方说我们刚刚的句子也可以写说 For example 逗号Tom is a good tennis player. OK， 这样也对注意到呢，我们这个 for example 呢要用一个逗号来把它隔开喽。再来呢，我们看到这个后面接很多个例子的这种举例的方法，我们可以看一下例句There are many ways to prevent the spread of viruses, such as washing your hands more often and not touching your face. 有很多方法呢，可以来避免病毒传播，例如呢，这个多洗手啦，还不要摸你的脸呐。其实呢，还有很多其他方法，但我们这边呢，举例了2种。Such as 就是这样子使用了，而且注意到呢，这一整串是一个句子跟刚刚 for example 的方式很不一样。在我们说话的时候呢，也可以跟 like 这个字来代换。这时候呢 ，like 不是表示喜欢，而是呢一样用在举例的意思了。比方说呢，台湾是水果王国啦，花妈最爱吃热带水果啦。I enjoy tropical fruits like mango and papaya. 跟 such as 几乎一样的用法，但是呢，语气上比较不正式，大家使用上呢要多留意咯。
OK， 回到课文，我们还看到 fashion 这个字再次出现，一直出现。这边呢是时尚业所以 people in fashion 那就是在时尚产业工作的人，他们可能在2 years ago 2年前就决定了这一季要流行的颜色是什么。
Yeah, like people in movies doesn't mean just the actors, but anybody involved in the movie business. So A+ then asks, do you like your job? Why or why not? And hopefully he says yes, because he's been doing it for 9 years.
对啊，做了9年应该是喜欢的吧，所以呢 A+ 就问他了，那你喜欢你的工作吗？ Why？ 为什么
？And he says, I do, so that's good news. My designs can be different every season.
OK， 所以他很喜欢他自己的 design， 这边 design 当名词用，什么意思呢？ Let's take a look. Design 在这边当名词代表设计，那发音的地方要注意像是我们中间的 s 发的声音是 z design。So do you like the design of this table？ 你喜欢这张桌子的设计吗？那设计的人我们叫他设计师，字尾加上ER 就可以了 ，designer 设计师。那另外呢 ，design 还可以当做动词用像是我们可以说This program is designed to provide young people with more job opportunities， 代表这个计划是要提供年轻人更多的工作机会。那单字例句给的是呢 ，Carol likes the design of the new office building. It's very tall with many windows. Carol 喜欢新办公大楼的设计，它非常高，而且有很多的窗户。
Another example, there were some nice designs at the fashion show. I think some of them would work for me.
那回到课文 Mr. B 说每季我的设计都可以做些变化 so he can decide.
And it kind of makes things interesting. It's not always the same. There's always something new to get involved with. He adds, I use many styles and trends, so it's always fresh.
Trend 这个名词呢，代表趋势、潮流。那字尾加上了 y， 变成 trendy 这个形容词，流行的、时髦的，像是 trendy clothes， 流行时髦的衣服。
Yeah, like we could say years ago, there was a trend in Taiwan for glasses with no glass in them. I didn't understand it.
Did you buy one?
No.
OK， 那这边呢，我们还看到表示因果关系的连接词 because 或是 so， 两者不可以同时出现哦。所以我们可以说 He was late for school because he missed the bus， 代表因为错过公车，他上学迟到。那如果要用 so 来代换的话，我们会说 He missed the bus, so he was late for school。那 Mr. B 使用很多的风格和流行的元素，所以都非常的 fresh 和新颖。
Using that so and because again, I try to go to bed early so I can get plenty of sleep, or I get plenty of sleep because I go to bed early. Here's another question from A+. What do visual merchandisers use a lot, but customers might not notice? So this is all about the secrets of the job.
那我们先来看 notice 的用法吧。Notice 这个动词呢，代表注意到、察觉到。那我们可以用 notice 后面加上 that， 再带出一个名词子句，像是呢 I noticed that he was in a bad mood yesterday。我注意到他昨天心情不好。那这个 that 是可以省略掉的。再来呢 ，notice 也可以当做感官动词使用，也就是后方接上受词之后，你有两种选择，要不加原形动词，要不加 VING。像是呢 Did you notice her hands shaking when you talk to her？ 你跟她讲话的时候，你有注意到她的手在发抖吗？那单字例句说啊 I noticed your new hair color. It looks great. 我注意到你的新发色，很好看哦。
Or we could also say, I notice you're wearing your jacket while you're teaching. You must be cold.
I'm very cold.
Okay. So what is this kind of secret? What does A+ want to know here?
这边呢，有什么是视觉陈列师使用但顾客没有注意到的呢？这个就是刚刚 A+ 问 Mr. B 的问题。What's his answer?
Well, this is one we might have to explain a bit now and later. He says, the pyramid technique.
Pyramid 它是金字塔，那这边代表的是什么呢？黄金三角平衡理论。简单来说呢，这个是一个三角形的分布，让观赏者在视觉上感到最平衡、最舒适的方式。所以很多商家会用这个方式来做 display。
It's just a way of arranging things so that they get a good amount of attention, I guess. We'll look at it a bit later. Mr. B explains we use it, this pyramid technique, to give items a nice, comfortable look.Look 这边是名词哦，代表衣服、家具等等的风格，所以用这样子的陈列技巧，可以让商品呈现舒服、好看的风格。 Yeah, like with look, we could say, I want a new look. I'm going to turn my hair blue.
Oh, wow.
You think that'll work?
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, so that's our article. We've talked to Mr. B about his job, what he likes about it, what he does in the job, what he kind of needs to do the job well. Now we're going to look in our review time at the thing we just mentioned, pyramid techniques. We'll show you a few pictures and we can check them out. Let's do that now.
Review time.
Okay, I've got some paper with pictures on of these, but you'll be able to see them as you watch this video. So there are different types of pyramid structures. So take a look at this one.
Okay, so there's it's like stairs?
It's like people walking upstairs. It's called a pyramid staircase. Some of them are low. And for this, all items, it could be clothes, it could be whatever, are placed from high to low or low to high, like stairs. It kind of gives them an interesting look, and some of maybe the lighter ones will be up top, and you can use different lights to show different parts. So
right, can catch people's eye.
Exactly, because it gives it one thing. If you're walking upstairs, you're moving. So rather than just kind of clothes standing there on a model, these are walking, they're climbing. So the clothes look more like they will on a real person, bending at the knees and all of that. So this one, and this is the second picture you should see, is the symmetric pyramid.
这是对称的感觉。
Right, so that means it's kind of even on both sides. So for this one in the picture, you'll see there's something in the middle and slightly shorter ones on either side. So probably what they do here, they put a tall object in the middle, low objects on either side, and the main thing will be in the middle. That's going to get a lot of attention.
Right. I didn't notice this until you just mentioned.
Yeah, it's this kind of thing. You don't realize it, then you see it and you're like, oh, I'll know now. The third one is an asymmetric pyramid, okay? Here we've got a tall object in the middle, but the ones on either side are at different heights. So some are slightly higher, some are lower, that kind of thing. There's a few bags in the picture you'll see about this one. And again, you can light it in a clever way. It'll draw attention to the different objects because they'll be slightly different heights and you'll be going, that doesn't feel even. But as you're thinking about that, you'll notice the products.
Right. 所以第三种就是呢，在不同的高度上面去陈列它的商品。
Yeah, so next time you are out at a clothing shop, look at the way the models are wearing the clothes. Look at the way they're lit and with the lights or arranged in the middle of the store, at the front of the store. Try and figure out, what are they doing here? What clever tricks are they doing to get me to want to buy the clothes or come into the store?
Right, it's very interesting.
It is, it's quite clever. And that's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. For A+ English, I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
We'll
Bye.
talk to you again soon.
Working as a visual merchandiser. Warm-up question. Do you think about fashion a lot? What do you think of it?
What's a normal working day like?
I spend the morning in the office doing research. In the afternoon, I go to stores and check their displays.
What is the most interesting part of your job?
For me, it's learning the beginnings of each season's fashions. For example, maybe people in fashion decided this season's color 2 years ago.
Do you like your job? Why or why not?
I do. My designs can be different every season. I use many styles and trends, so it's always fresh.
What do visual merchandisers use a lot but customers might not notice?
The pyramid technique. We use it to give items a nice, comfortable look.
Word power.
Spend. 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 Spent. Spent. We went on vacation to Japan last month. We spent 4 days in Tokyo. We went on vacation to Japan last month. We spent 4 days in Tokyo. Beginning. Beginning. This was a perfect trip. It went so well from beginning to end. This was a perfect trip. It went so well from beginning to end. Design. Design. Carol likes the design of the new office building. It's very tall with many windows. Carol likes the design of the new office building. It's very tall with many windows. Notice. Notice. I noticed your new hair color. It looks great. I noticed your new hair color. It looks great.
认识字汇
Normal. Normal. Research. Research. Trend. Trend.